If you aren't lucky enough to, say, be the son of a PM and get some pretty handy flying perks, then this segment is for you. Imagine if you could upgrade your next flight to business for as little as $20. Pretty good, right? Well, my next guest has gone viral online for sharing her secrets, and I wanted to bring them to you in case you missed it. Stephanie Georgiou, you travel a lot. Spill. What have you got?
Hello, Erin. Thank you so much for having me. Yes, I've actually just arrived from Bali this morning and I have discovered a little hack when it comes to traveling.
So tell me, what is it?
Well, basically a few months ago, I was flying interstate with Rex Airlines and I went up to the service desk and I asked, how's business class looking? And he said, well, there's a seat available if you want, bid for it. And this was about 2 hours before a flight. And I got the business upgrade and I had bidded the lowest amount. So there is a dial where you can choose how much you bid. And I bid $20, $25 and it had come through just before my flight.
So you're saying wait till you get there, go up and ask, and they'll let you know whether there's much available, then you can bid the lowest amount.
Well, that strategy definitely worked. And then I tried another one on another flight where I bid the night before, and that one was just as successful. So I believe maybe the night before or 2 nights, maybe at a maximum, but last minute and the lowest bid, my theory is this, is that because it is last minute, if there are seats available, they're probably going to give it away at the lowest price because they're not going to sell it. So far it's worked 3 times, international and domestic as well.
Were you expecting such a big reaction from your TikTok video? Because, I mean, it sounds fairly straightforward and obvious, not to take away from your brilliance, of course.
No, not at all. I love TikTok and I love to just provide value on the channel, and when I did post it the first time I was not expecting the reaction that I got, and it's been mixed reactions but mostly positive, so I just kept going with it and I feel I've kind of now manifested these business class upgrades and it keeps happening.
I feel like, Steph, it's when you find like this amazing secluded beach and then you tell everyone and suddenly it's not so secluded and amazing anymore. I feel like you've kind of screwed yourself by telling everyone, because all those seats that were left over might not be anymore.
Well, on the way back today, unfortunately, there was no upgrades available, so I think everyone has caught on and the videos have gone a bit viral, so hopefully other people are enjoying the benefits and also upgrading to business class.
It's very selfless. Okay, thank you so much, Steph. Really appreciate you joining us there. And joining us now for some more advice on how to claim travel upgrades and perks without having to fork out so much extra money, co-founder of Australian Traveller, Quentin Long. Quentin, any other tricks for us? What can we do if we don't, say, have a chairman's club lounge pass?
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not all sons of the Prime Minister and we can't get in there. Look, the number one tip to get into an upgrade is to marry really well, you know, because a pilot's wife always gets to a pilot's, I should say. But if you are silly enough to marry for love, then obviously the number one thing you got to do is be a frequent flyer, because they really do prioritise the frequent flyers, and the higher status you are, the more valuable a customer over the lifetime of your relationship with the airline, the more likely you are to get an upgrade. The second thing is make sure, sorry, Erin, you're going to ask me a question?
No, keep going. You've got a list.
Yeah. So the second thing is I always say be absolutely polite to the check-in people. They actually can determine a lot about what happens, whether you do get an upgrade or not. Finally, also make sure that you travel alone, because it is easier to move one person than 2 people, and obviously they'll move that person as well. Finally, obviously, Steph had that great idea of, you know, of bidding for the upgrade. That's available to everyone, but check in early, because the check-in process really starts to make it much more complicated, because everyone's checking in online. They actually look at it first person through the desk and actually get the worm and be given that upgrade. Obviously, politely ask, are there upgrades available? All that sort of stuff. And then finally, the check-in baggage, that actually helps a lot, because then they don't have to, you can be right there and say, I can go now, I can get on that flight that's earlier perhaps, or later perhaps. Be as flexible and open with the staff as possible, and they'll look after you as well.
Just quickly, we don't have long to go, but I remember when I started working at Channel 9 and all the boys, the commentators and the stars, they all went business class. And then there was a complete shift, and even the CEO was back in economy. Are businesses starting to reassess the use of business class? Are you seeing more of a trend to cattle class, if you call it that?
Yeah, so, there's premium economy now, which is actually pretty much directed at that escalation down and up. So people who are flying on their own coin or their own money are actually stepping up to premium economy. And a lot of the CFOs around the world looked at their travel budgets and went, I think we can do better. Can we actually bring this down? And so they changed their policies. Like it used to be like if it was 5 hours or more, you'd go business class, and they made it 8 hours. It depends on the company. But there's a lot of pressure on those business class airfares, particularly now that they're so ridiculously expensive that you're seeing people step down a class into premium economy.
Yeah, I was gutted. It was the first contract I ever negotiated where I was ballsy enough to ask, and they said, nope, no one does it anymore, and it was awful. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your time and your expertise there. Okay, take care.